Hi everyone, welcome to the TriEssence martial arts channel, another episode of Kung Fu Debunked, where we talk about popular misconception and misinformation, and we try to debunk them with the truth. So before we start, I'd just like to congratulate Eric for getting his second dosage of the COVID vaccine. So now you are fully protected and you can go out and freely participate in orgies. Right?
Me no speaker English.
Right, you're too shy to admit what you do in your private time.
Well, suffice enough to say that no amount of vaccination can allow me to go and do orgies, as you have said.
Right. What you're trying to say is vaccination only protects you up to what 60-something percentage?
Well, it protects you from severe cases.
Severe cases. Right.
So
you're probably not gonna die.
Yes. Chances of you dying would be less.
Yeah. But you might still contract the virus if you come in contact with it. So those of you who have taken the vaccination, yeah, it's not it's not bulletproof vest. Still keep your distance, wash your hands, and otherwise you can still get the virus.
Well, it's not a condom either, so please protect sex. Protection, please.
And we might have underage viewers.
We might, and that is why they should learn it from us. That makes our channel even more valuable.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lawyer letter from the parents.
We might. Yeah. In which case, then you know what? It's South Africa, so good luck suing us.
Right, that's actually true. Anyway, so for myself, I'm getting my second shot on the 15th of this month. Yeah, so after that, I'll also be at least less risk of dying from it, although I don't plan to catch it anytime soon. And just wash your hands, keep your distance, try not to be in crowded places. Anyway, so today we're gonna talk about a somewhat popular video that went kind of viral a couple months ago, I think. It's kind of late to cover the viral video now, but I guess it's better late than never, and I didn't really come across it until recently, and I thought maybe something that we should talk about here. Alright, so first let's watch the video. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have already seen it on social media, but just to refresh your memories on what, to make sense of what I'm going to say, let's just watch the video again.
We're relying on our movement, so we're relying on the relaxation to keep the groin guard here, and then keep the movement going, because you don't want to be standing straight. You want to keep a little bit of a movement going, so you're always moving, but you're not stiff, but you're not like that. So particularly if you do have a kick, and you never kick heavy, you never do like this from here. These kicks from here. You do if it's let's say a short range kick, you do this kick.
Okay.
But never this kick, like from here. Let's say a spinning back kick. A spinning back kick. Let's say you're gonna kick my leg here. You're gonna kick my ass or whatever you're doing. In JKD, we don't even use the spinning back kick. We always use these. We use only the short range. And groin kicks are obviously the biggest center. The reason we in JKD negate everything, all the other kicks, all the other kinds of blocks, because let's say you want to throw the back foot, for example, right? You want to throw the back foot?
The back foot, what kind of kick you want?
Let's say any kick, it wouldn't matter. So you throw a back foot, any kick. I'm just gonna get that leg and I'm gonna stop you, no matter what kick you throw. So we negated all of that because you're throwing any kind of kick, I want to attack that foot. Now, if for some reason you're trying to kick with that foot, then I can attack that back foot off the line if I want to. Or
so if I'm going to kick with this leg, you're going to attack that foot, right? If I lift this, you're going to lift that leg.
You have that option, or you can just go straight to that one. Or you can stop foot and hit.
Okay, so let's see. I'll go easy,
So
right? You want me to go easy?
So which side? Okay.
I don't know. You gotta, let me know. I'll go super easy so you can see it coming, right?
Nah, we're not gonna be doing it without sparring gear, dude. Because I'm gonna really kick you. Don't give me that shit. Let's get sparring gear.
Hey! Listen, young man.
We're not gonna be doing no.
Young man.
Well,
Hold on. Young man.
let's get sparring.
Young man. Young man.
No,
Fuck,
don't young
respect
man.
your elders. Young man.
Me, bro.
You want young man? You coming to my? I've been disrespectful. You walked into my motherfucking class
You've
talking.
been disrespectful the whole time, bro. You've been putting me down the whole time since I've been here, bro.
That's how you feel, my man?
Yeah, it's been disrespectful.
So what, you want to put some gloves on, man? You want to spar? You want to put some gloves on right now? Get this man some gloves. Since you want to be up here, because I will knock you the fuck out, my nigga. Knock you the fuck. My nigga, knock you. What you think you talking to my shit, nigga? Don't fucking break you, bitch. You fucking kidding me? Fucking kidding me, bitch? Fucking fucking punching me, bitch. You fucking bitch. I will fuck you up in here, bitch. Fuck you talking about? Fuck you talking about, mama?
Fuck you, man. Fucking punching me in your fucking place. What's your problem, bro? Huh?
He came in there and shit, but his people were thinking it's cool. You gonna get your ass fucked up. Fuck out of here.
Fuck you, bro. Fucking something punching me and shit.
Fuck out. Fuck out. Get this nigga out of here.
Oh, you're done. Fuck him.
Out. Out.
Fuck you, bro.
Fucking go.
Fuck you, bro.
Go.
Fuck you, bro.
Go.
Yeah, fuck you.
Go.
Man. Fucking douchebag.
Alright, so it's basically a video where there is a Wing Chun instructor and then some random guy came to his class. I don't know I don't know what the intention of that person is, but he supposedly is a JKD enthusiast, and they had some kind of disagreement, altercation, eventually led into a fight. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of people have said about this video already, and today I'm going to just basically talk about my point of view and after Eric's point of view. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Wudde, right? Martial ethics. So do you know that word, right? Wudde?
Not really.
Really? Don't? Okay.
I'll still kick the guy between the balls.
Ah, okay.
Yes. So yeah.
Now here's the thing, there's actually no rule against kicking a guy in the balls in Wudde, right? Contrary to popular belief. In fact, every Chinese martial arts system has at least one special technique to hit the balls. So obviously, if it's against Wudde, they wouldn't have this technique. But of course, whether the context matters, right? If it's in a duel, you know how to hit somebody in the balls. But if it's in a fight or self-defense situation, then everything goes. No, but that's besides the point, right? So Wudde, as its name suggests, martial ethic. It's basically the type of ethic that a Chinese martial artist is required to upheld to be classified as an ethical person. Of course, if you don't keep it, no police is gonna come and arrest you. So it's not as severe as a crime. Now, martial ethics is a very big term, right? A lot of people like to throw this around, especially in the West, in the past decade also. A lot of Westerners learned this from the Chinese associates, and they like to throw this word around, Wudde, everything about Wudde. But there's a lot of misconception what Wudde actually means. For example, I've met Western instructors who claim that I have no Wudde because I called out a fraud to be a fraud. And so I decided that we're going to use this opportunity to just quickly talk about what constitutes as Wudde and what doesn't in the context of this video. Okay. So firstly, Wudde is not Mr. Miyagi. You know who Mr. Miyagi is, right? You're old enough to know that.
Yeah, well, it's not because I'm old enough. It's
Alright.
because I'm well-versed.
Well versed, right?
Yes, right.
In old movies.
In old movies. Yes.
So those of you that don't know, I'm sure most of you should know, right? If you don't know, Google Karate Kid, the old one, right? From back in the days, not the Jackie Chan remake trash. So the old one, there's a guy called Mr. Miyagi, and he's always calm and collected, and he's against violence. And then when the student come on to learn how to fight, he will tell them, no fighting. Something like that. I don't remember the exact dialogue, but it's something to that effect, right?
Fighting always last answer to problem. Daniel-san, you look revenge that way. Start by digging to grave.
Something, yes, something along
It's like he's not teaching him how to fight, teaching him how to wax on, wax off. So that was a very, very popular movie back in those days. One of the most popular martial art themed movie. And as a result, that image has basically burned into a lot of people's minds, especially from that generation. And people naturally think that a very high-level Chinese master would be anti-violent and would not teach you how to fight, and always be calm and collected and whatnot, etc. Okay, that's not always true. If you look into Chinese martial history, people such as Guo Yunshen, right, famous for 半步崩拳打天下, using half-step 崩拳 to beat over half of China. If you look at Yang Luchan, founder of Yang style Tai Chi, nicknamed Yang Wudi, the undefeated Yang. If you look at all these people, or like one of the most famous masters in Baji lineage called Li Shuwen, his nickname is 不二先生, meaning 不 is no, 二 is 2, so no second, Mr. No second. What that means is that he told people once he never know what it feels like to hit the guy twice, meaning that he always win a fight with just one hit. So from all these nicknames, you can already get the idea that these top masters of the Republic era and late Qing dynasty to the Republic era, they fought a lot, okay? And naturally, that means they can't be against violence. If they're like Mr. Miyagi, never fight, when people try to bully him, he just walks away and all peaceful and stuff, you can't earn those titles. You can't be the undefeated Yang if you didn't beat up a lot of people until a point where everyone gave up trying to fight you. You can't call yourself 半步崩拳打天下, right? The half-step 崩拳 beating half of China. If you never beat half of China, it's stupid. And you can't call yourself 不二先生, right? Someone who never knows the feeling of hitting somebody twice. If you don't fight enough people to prove that you don't need to hit somebody twice. So from all these nicknames, you can already tell that they are very well versed in violence. Now, they might not be walking around the street bullying people, of course not that. But the martial artists in the Chinese context should never shy away from a duel or to see who's better in a fight, right? To be able to determine who is better, it's not about ego, it's about a pursuit of truth. Now they allow these Western martial artists and people in China too, who those coincidentally are the ones who don't know how to fight. They use Wudu as an excuse. If I say I want to challenge you, they will say, "Oh, you young 年轻人 you have no Wudu, like youngster, you have no martial ethic."
年轻人不讲武德。
If you have, you should never challenge me. It's like a convenient excuse to hide behind, right? Well, what do you think about this?
Not much.
Not much.
Yeah, it's I don't care for table manners.
Okay.
If I want to eat a burger, right? A lot of guys nowadays use knife and fork for burger. Bullshit. I use my hands. But the only way to eat a burger.
But this is COVID. It's safer if you use knife and fork.
I'll sanitize and use my hand. I'll still use my hand.
If you sanitize your hand, you will taste like that sanitizer in your mouth.
Doesn't matter.
It smells really bad.
Well, you just wave it and it will evaporate or whatever. But yeah, but the bottom line is I don't use knife and fork, so I don't give a flying. I don't give a damn about all these etiquettes.
For the record, I do use knife and fork for burger and pizza and pretty much even ribs. But I'm okay with fighting people in the martial art context. I'm also okay with beating up somebody on the street if there's a reason for it. So the bottom line is, willing to fight has nothing to do with Wude, right? Wude has a very strict, specific code to what constitutes as Wude, what doesn't. We're going to cover that in a future video. We're not going to go into details here. But what this is to say is that in that video, the Wing Chun instructor, there's nothing wrong with his action to fight that guy. Okay, that does not constitute as not having martial ethic. So all this, SJW from the Chinese martial community, you guys should all take a rest. There's nothing wrong with what he's doing from a martial ethic perspective. If he was back in the Qing Dynasty, Republic era, all the masters would be okay with it. In fact, they'll give him a thumb up for standing up for his honor, pride, or martial art system. Okay, essentially, if this happened back in the days, it would be a conflict between two styles, between Wing Chun and JKD. And whatever he does affects the face of the entire system. So everyone would tell him, good job. Okay, so there's no conflict as far as martial ethic goes. Now next, we're going to talk about this from an ego perspective. Right, so although there's nothing wrong with from an ethical perspective, but I do think he was blinded by ego. And that, although everyone has ego, we're all humans, so I'm not saying that people shouldn't have ego, but I do believe that it is not the best of quality. And as an instructor, you should strive to have less ego involved. Like you can fight, right? Fighting is totally fine. You can determine who's better, whether his kick is JKD kicks are better.
You never do like this from here.
Or his Wing Chun techniques. You can totally determine that, but in a calmer manner. You don't have to be personally upset about it. Okay? Back in the days, sure, martial art masters, some of them have very bad temper. Like Li Shuwen was famous for having a very short temper. But there are a lot of others who will just fight to find out who's better. It's more like an academic research or an argument. It's almost like two physicists came together to argue between relativity and quantum mechanics. Okay, they're gonna get heated and argue, but it's still within an academic structure. So martial art the same way. So again, what he's doing isn't wrong, but I would just say it would be better if it's being done in a more, how do I put it, calm manner, right? What do you think about that?
Well, you know, it's I would say calm manner is one of the things, but I think the term that I would describe what Chris is trying to say is clear-minded.
Right.
So
yes,
a lot more pursuit of knowledge and technique and power or whatsoever than fighting because you're angry.
This far, you want to put some gloves on right now? Get this man some gloves. Since you want to be up here, because I will knock you the fuck out, my nigga. Knock you the fuck. My nigga, knock you through. What you think you talking to my shit? I'll fucking break you, bitch. You fucking kidding me? Fucking kidding me, bitch? Fucking silky punching you, bitch. You fucking bitch. I will fuck you up in here, bitch. Fuck you talking about? Fuck you talking about, mama?
Fuck you, man. Fucking punching me in your fucking place.
yes.
So there's a point in fighting. Make it purposeful. You know, make it a study.
Yes. So right. I mean, it's what the younger person does, the JKD enthusiast, is really bad. Okay, that's a big no-no. You don't do that to anybody's martial art class. You don't go to someone's martial art class and then try to teach him how to do things. So that part actually does impede martial ethics. Even back in the days, like even today, when I'm in China walking in parks, and I go to different people's training ground. In China, you don't really have like schools, but in the parks there's different sections of land that certain martial artists and his students are training at. Okay, it's considered looking for trouble if I walk to someone else's training ground and I say, you know, that kid, you're not doing it right. That's very bad. You don't ought to do that. In fact, even if I go to a person, I see that he's not doing it correctly, I need to keep quiet. That is the social expectation. And when asked upon, I would say, yeah, your martial art is very good. It's fake and pretentious, but that is the martial art culture in China. The only exception is when I went there, I'm purposely looking for trouble. For example, someone told me that guy's an asshole and I should teach him a lesson. And I'm walking up there, I'm purposely trying to pick a fight. Then I'll be like, you know, wow, your martial art is really good. Your teacher's wife taught you that. And that's a very big insult in Chinese culture. So I'm actually picking a fight. So in that sense, you're allowed to. But if I'm not picking a fight, you can't comment on somebody else's martial art in their own territory. Okay? And that's exactly what this JKD enthusiasts were doing. And that totally warrants a beating. Okay? If I go up to a martial art guy, it's training territory, and make fun of him or mock his technique, I'm expected to fight him. So if he's better and he beats me up, that's my own fault. I can't blame him for not having martial ethic, because I'm looking for the fight. So bottom line here is, you don't go to someone else's martial school and tell them what they're doing is wrong. Even if you think you know better, unless you're willing to prove it, don't say that, okay? So this is the part where you need some fake humbleness. Even if you don't think he's better, you don't say it. You know, you just keep it to yourself. You can go back to chat to your buddies, your friends, your master, have a good laugh, but don't tell it in his face, right? Well, what do you think about this?
Yeah. Basically, that's yeah.
So that's terrible, right? So what that guy did was terrible.
I think the young man is very rude.
Yeah,
there's no argument.
No argument there. He did something terrible. With that said, okay, if I was put into the shoe of the Wing Chun instructor, I probably wouldn't get mad. I would definitely teach him a lesson. But if I don't teach him a lesson, then I've lost the face of my class. Even my students might think differently if the master don't stand up for himself and his school. So obviously he's definitely entitled and it's his right to react. But I would personally do it a bit differently. Firstly, I actually would pity that JKD guy because it's like, you know, he's a bit dumb and don't read social cue, right? When you are telling the guy you need to stand like this and keep like this, you can see the Wing Chun guy was already, you know, impatient and upset.
Brain kicks are obviously the biggest center.
So the kid doesn't read social cue, and that would suggest that he must be antisocial or he's really dumb or something's wrong with his upbringing. Okay, usually someone in his 30s should learn how to read social cue, right? Like that guy didn't read jack all. He didn't think that the Wing Chun guy was upset.
I seriously think that he might be under influence.
Or maybe he's meant to be challenged. Look, I'm not saying that in a bad way, but it does kind of give me the feel that the guy's not very right in the head. You know, so in that case, I might feel pity for him. Like, you know, like it's just like if a crazy person comes on the street and swears to me, I'm not gonna punch him because the guy's crazy. You know, you can't take crazy people seriously. I'm not saying this guy's crazy, but it gave me the feeling that it's not very normal. Okay, but what I said, I will still teach him a lesson, which the Wing Chun instructor attempted to do, but he was already angry. So he was like, you know, yeah, you know, how you want me to kick you? I'm going to go easy on you.
Okay.
I don't know. You gotta, you know, let me know. I'll go super easy so you can see it coming, right?
He's saying these things, but you can see that he's being aggravated. And then when that JKD guy said, you know, I'm going to do this without sparring gears. He said something similar to that. He started walking. Then it escalated, right? Then the guy started saying, young man, and then he got upset.
Sparring gear, dude, because I'm gonna really kick you. Don't do that shit. Let's get sparring gear.
Hey, listen, young man, young man, young man. Hold on, young man.
Let's get sparring gear.
Young man.
No, don't young man.
Respect your elders, young man. You're coming to my. I've been disrespectful. You walked into my motherfucking class talking.
Disrespectful the whole time.
Obviously, it's understandable why he's upset. I just think it could have been a bit better not being upset. And of course, that escalated into the guy, the Wing Chun, the JKD guy, up into the Wing Chun guy's face. He was like something like this.
I will knock you the fuck out, my nigga.
And then I think the comment and people claimed he headbutted him. I didn't see a really visible headbutt, but it's definitely aggravating, right? It's not like he went and he's going, okay, it's not like that. But he was in his face, and that's very disrespectful. And obviously, you should not do that. For two reasons. One is disrespectful, and it's an ego thing that serves no purpose and meaning. Secondly, it's very dumb thing, okay? If somebody on the street come up and do that to my face, I just, well, not headbutt, but like, you know, like doing that, you can knee him in the board, punch him in the jaw, you can do a lot of stuff you're exposed, okay? So for any purpose, that is dumb, other than to show that you have no brain. So after that, then the Wing Chun guy really lost it and stopped slapping him.
Knock you the fuck, my nigga, knock you.
Again, eventually did won the exchange and proved his point. But the problem is, it's not really convincing, okay? Because the other guy can argue that he sucker punched him. But he was doing this, and then the Wing Chun guy just came out and started slapping him and then punch him and then throwing him down. Obviously, he would probably win even if they had a fair and square spot. Right? I'm not saying the JKD guy had any chance to win against the Wing Chun instructor. But as the event unfolded, it can be argued that it wasn't a fair fight, that he sucker punched him first. And the problem with that is then you cannot settle the argument. So in my stead, ideally, I'm not saying I definitely do this, because in your situation you might react differently to what you think you would. But if I'm in this current mindset and think about it, if somebody came to my class and was just being nosy and telling me what to do, I will politely ask him, if you think you know better, how about we have a friendly spot? And then I will want to set up the spot as fairly as possible, so he will be ready, I'll be ready, we'll agree on some rules, like hand only or hand and feet, throwing, we agree on the efficacy of it. And then how hard should we hit, full contact, light contact, that kind of thing. And then someone need to say, and then we'll say like, are you ready? Are you ready? We can go, and then we'll spar. If someone actually came to my face in that kind of way, I'll be really upset too, right? Don't get me wrong. But I will not just punch him. I will basically tell him to move back. If you want to prove your point, do it in a fair and square manner. Because I feel that if I hit him in that heat of the moment, even if I beat him, he's gonna just tell everybody that I sucker punched him. And you can never win that argument. You could have beat him fair and square and shut that argument up forever, but you didn't. And forever you're gonna say you sucker punched him. So it's of that reason why I think the Wing Chun instructor could have handled this a lot better. But of course he was angry, and that's the other thing, right? When you're angry, you make wrong decisions because your head is not clear. And often you make things that you regret later on. So I'm not accusing the Wing Chun instructor of anything. I'm just saying that this could have been handled better, just in case any of you have this kind of situation in the near future. You should know how to handle it better. Okay? Always have an academic type of mind, right? Your point is to prove that his kick doesn't work. So I'll be like, you know what? If you think your kick are better, mine not, how about we get ready and you can try to kick me, I'll try to kick you and see who better. That proves the point far better than slapping him in the face. Okay, what do you think?
Yeah, well, you know, look, I mean, the young man from the video.
Yeah.
It's most likely it's you know, the real situations of it. It's you know, usually dirty.
Mm-hmm.
It's the young man wasn't even listening actually.
Yes,
So you can say like, you know, stand there, get ready so that I can test your kick and stuff like that. He's just not going to listen. To be honest.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna try to weasel his way out. Well, he was weaseling his way out of it.
A bit, yes. He was trying to yeah.
So to get a proper settings with an individual like that, right? It might be tricky, but simply because he's gonna weasel, not listen, not play, and not play according to the rule book.
But I think if he actually try to back out of the challenge, then he already proven that he lost.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's nothing further to prove. I think the only time where you need to prove something is when the guy is willingly engaging you.
Yeah.
If somebody comes to you and say, I want to fight, and you say, no, I don't want to fight, then you lost. But if I come to a guy and say, I want to fight, and he's like, you know, today's not a good day, tomorrow the constellation is not aligned, then everyone else should really know I won. Otherwise, why is he dodging the fight? And they have nothing to prove. At least to me, that's the case.
Yeah.
I do that a lot on WeChat actually. When I meet annoying Chinese martial artists, I'll challenge them, and they'll find excuses, and everyone else knows they chicken out, they're just too chicken to say it.
I think yeah, it's it could be. Well, I mean, yes, that is. I mean, the young man was, you know, backing out already. Actually, it's like, I'm not gonna fight you. I don't have gear and stuff.
You're gonna, you know, let me know. I'll go super easy so you can see it coming, right?
Nah, we're not gonna be doing it without sparring gear, dude, because I'm gonna really kick you. Don't do that shit. Let's get sparring gear.
He's basically giving excuses to go down.
Then I would just say, you know,
yes.
are you chickening out? You know?
Or something like that.
Yeah,
yes, yeah.
you're not like man enough to fight, you know. Either fight now or just shut up and leave.
I think that's what the Wing Chun instructor was, you know, he wasn't using harsh words like chicken or whatsoever.
Yeah.
But he was saying like, you know, give the man a pair of gloves. I'm going to drop you and, you know, that kind
Look,
of
I mean, so what he said is fine, but I just think, you know, I will use these languages to aggravate the guy enough so that he accepted the challenge.
Yeah. But I think the tilting points was that when the young man
Oh,
was
yes, he
doing
was
that,
doing that, yeah.
There's no way you can control the young man.
Yes.
And that's where the, you know...
Yeah, so it is a sticky situation.
Yeah.
For you mentioned,
It was messy.
I aggravate people on the street too. Like, you know, like if somebody is taking my lane with some indicator and it's really close distance, I almost run into them. You know, on occasion I'll basically overtake and try to stop him. And if he stops, which most of the time they don't, they try to like you can do all kind of dangerous stuff to get out because they feel so threatened. But on occasion where they stop, I will come out and ask them politely, is your indicator broken? Is your hand broken? Is you mentally retarded? Why the hell do you not indicate? See, so obviously I say mean things, but I never throw a punch first. I always get them to aggravate, and they'll be pissed off, and they'll throw a punch at me, then I punch them back. So that's just the way I do things. I don't like to punch first, because unless I know it's like criminal and I'm in danger. But otherwise, I just think it's, you know, I'm okay with saying nasty things to someone, but I'm not okay with a guy just come out of the car and just watching in the head. But that's just me, right? I mean, not everyone have to agree with this, but that's my standard. I never hate somebody without him hitting me first or know that we're in a fighting situation. The very least I will do is I'll tell somebody I'm going to hit you. No, be on guard. And so if somebody's right in my face, unless it's like a situation where I think I'm in danger, otherwise I don't like to just punch him in the face.
Well, the kid, to be honest, the young man his head was invading, the personal space of the instructor. So it wasn't an attack, though, because he didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't like a real headbutt, but it was definitely disrespectful. Yeah.
So maybe instinctively, when you see a head moving towards you, right?
I think he was just really angry.
That too. Right?
Which is normal, right? If you're angry, you're gonna do things like that. So again, I'm not accusing the Wing Chun instructor of anything. I'm just saying that it could have been a bit more tactfully handled. So in case any of you are in a situation similar, there are a better way to resolve this. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's wrong about it.